Ladies, let me tell you something about men that we don't say out loud. We want to act all tough, all mysterious, all logical. But the truth is, when a woman walks into our life and brings peace, value, and purpose, we remember her forever. Not because she's chasing us, not because she's available all the time, but because she makes us feel something we don't get anywhere else. You want to know what really gets a man hooked, but makes him want you not just for now, not just for a few good dates, but forever? Let me tell you, it ain't about how you dress or how perfect your makeup looks. That stuff, that's surface. That's entry-level attraction. I'm talking about something deeper, something that keeps a man up at night thinking about you, wondering if he's ever going to find another woman like you if he lets you go. That kind of hold, it don't come from games or gimmicks. It comes from presence, from peace, from power. A quiet kind of power that a real woman walks in when she knows exactly who she is. See, men are complicated and simple at the same time. We go through the world putting on armor, trying to be tough, trying to win, trying to succeed. But when we come home, we're not looking for another fight. We're looking for peace. And when a woman gives us that, whew, that's gold. That's rare. That's the kind of woman you never forget, the kind of woman that makes you want to be better just so you don't lose her. It ain't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about how you treat yourself when he's not around. When a man sees that you're whole all by yourself, that you're not waiting on him to define your worth, that's when he starts looking at you differently. That's when it clicks in his mind. She don't need me. She chooses me. And let me tell you something. A woman who chooses you instead of needing you, that woman, she's powerful. She's unforgettable. Ever heard a man say she was the one that got away? You know why he says that? It's not because she was the prettiest or the most available or the one who did the most. It's because she made him feel something different. She made him feel like he had to earn her, not just have her. She had standards. She had peace in her silence. She had purpose in her presence. That's the woman who stays on a man's mind, even when he's moved on with somebody else. Let me break this down even more. You want a man to want you forever? Then stop being everywhere all the time. Give him some space to miss you. Give him room to feel your absence. Some of y'all are too available. You're always texting back in 2 seconds, always saying yes, always showing up before he even asks. That's not love, that's desperation. And men can smell that a mile away. A man wants to chase, that's in his nature. And when you take that away, when you hand yourself over on a silver platter, he don't respect it. He might like it in the moment, but he won't value it long term. You need to walk in your worth even when you're unsure about where the relationship is going, especially then. Don't ask, where is this going every 2 days? Just pay attention to where he's steering the ship. Let his actions show you. And if he's not steering it in the direction you want to go, baby, you get off the boat. You don't beg, you don't bargain. You don't shrink yourself to fit into his life, because the moment you start doing that, that's when he stops seeing you as a queen and starts seeing you as an option. A woman who stands firm on her values, who communicates without nagging, who expresses her expectations without raising her voice. That's a woman who separates herself from the rest. She doesn't argue to be understood. She speaks once, clearly, with calm. And if he doesn't hear her, she knows how to fall back. She lets the silence do the talking. And let me tell you something. Silence from a woman who used to care, that hits a man different. That silence, that's where the lesson lies. That's where the regret kicks in. But let's not get it twisted. Wanting him to want you forever doesn't mean you mold yourself into who he needs. That's backwards. You become so grounded in who you are that he can't help but recognize your value. You want to know the women men chase forever? They're not the loudest in the room. They're not the ones who scream their worth. They're the ones who embody it. It's in how they walk, how they carry themselves, how they don't try to prove anything. They just are. And a real man, he sees that. He respects that. He works for that. So when you find yourself wondering why he's pulling away, don't panic, don't chase. You pause, you elevate, you focus on you, because either he's going to step up to meet you where you are, or he's going to watch another man do it. And if he's a real one, that fear alone of another man getting what he didn't appreciate, that's going to light a fire under him. At the end of the day, what makes a man want you forever is the feeling he gets when he's with you. Does he feel seen, not judged, heard, not dismissed, encouraged, not controlled? A man will always return to the woman who made him feel like he could be more, not the one who tried to change him. So show him who you are without apology, and let him decide if he's man enough to rise to that level. If he is, you won't have to ask for forever. He'll give it to you willingly, because real men protect and cherish what they know they can't replace. Let me tell you something that most women don't realize about men. When a man finds a woman who makes him feel safe, not physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, that woman becomes his forever. You want to keep asking what makes him stay, what makes him want only you? It's not about what you do for him. It's about how you make him feel about himself when he's around you. A man might forget what you said, he might forget what you wore, but he will never forget how he felt when he was with you. Men are raised to be providers, protectors, problem solvers. We live our lives trying to prove ourselves, trying to survive, trying to win. But what we often miss, what we crave deep down, is a woman who allows us to take the armor off. Someone we can just be with, not perform for. That's the woman we remember. That's the woman we come home to. That's the woman we can't replace, even if we try. Now, here's what most people don't tell you. The woman who a man wants forever, she's not the one who runs after him every time he pulls away. She's the one who understands that if he really wants her, he'll come back different. She doesn't beg for clarity. She doesn't settle for half love. She sits in her power, in her dignity, knowing that she's a blessing, not a backup plan. And let me tell you, when a man realizes he lost a woman like that, he never forgets her. She becomes the one he talks about when he says, I had her and I wasn't ready. So many women are taught to bend, to shrink, to be overly available just to keep a man. But a man doesn't stay because you're convenient. He stays because your energy is rare. And that kind of energy comes from confidence, from self-love, from not chasing what doesn't choose you. The woman a man wants forever isn't desperate for attention. She's focused on her peace. She's not texting 10 times in a row or crying over someone who can't make up his mind. She's building her life, loving herself, and letting her presence speak for itself. And listen to me, it's not that she doesn't care. It's that she knows how to care without losing herself. That's the key. Because the minute a woman loses herself trying to love a man, she becomes invisible to him. He stops seeing her as the woman who challenged him, inspired him, moved him. He starts seeing her as someone who needs him more than he needs her. And that imbalance, that's what kills desire. Men don't fall in love with someone who's clinging. They fall in love with someone who makes them want to earn their place in her life. Oh, I've seen it over and over again. A man will chase a woman who inspires him, who holds her own, who isn't afraid to walk away if she's not respected. That kind of woman triggers something inside of a man that says, if I lose her, I won't find this again. You know why? Because most people are out here playing games. Most women are trying to guess what he wants. But the woman who makes him want her forever, she's not playing, she's living, she's glowing. She's growing, and he sees that, he feels that. He knows she's on another level. And here's the truth, men value what they work for. If he didn't have to earn you, if you were just handed over without any standard, he may enjoy the moment, but he won't value the bond. But if he had to level up, if he had to be consistent, if he had to communicate and grow and be present to be with you, then when he gets you, he cherishes you. Because it took something from him, and anything that costs a man his growth becomes priceless to him. That's why you've got to stop lowering the bar just to keep someone interested. If a man only shows up when it's easy, when it's fun, when it's convenient, he's not the one. The one who wants you forever, he'll show up when it's hard. He'll stay when you challenge him. He'll apologize when he's wrong. He'll listen, not just react, because he knows that a woman like you is a once-in-a-lifetime blessing, not a revolving door. You don't have to scream, post quotes online, or give him ultimatums. Just fall back. Silence has a way of speaking the truth louder than any words. When you stop explaining, stop begging, stop reminding him of your worth, he either realizes it on his own or he loses you to someone who already sees it. And that's the gamble he takes when he plays with a woman who knows who she is. So be that woman. The one who doesn't settle, the one who doesn't chase, the one who doesn't get bitter, just better. When you walk in that light, you don't have to convince any man to stay. He'll stay because your presence makes him feel alive. He'll stay because your love feels like home. He'll stay because he knows the world is full of women, but only one of you. You want to know what shakes a man to his core? It's not the woman who yells the loudest or demands his time every minute. It's the one who knows how to love with grace and strength at the same time. That's the woman who keeps him up at night when she's not around. That's the woman who makes him reconsider every careless move he made. It's not about pressure. It's not about begging. It's about presence. A man never forgets a woman who knew how to love him and still loved herself. Most women think if they give a man everything he wants, he'll stay. But that's not how men work. If a man doesn't have to step up to keep you, he doesn't step in with seriousness. You can cook, clean, love him deeply, but if you forget your standards just to prove your loyalty, he stops valuing what you bring. He might enjoy it, but he won't treasure it. The woman he wants forever is the one he had to grow for, the one who made him a better man just by being who she is. A woman who gives without boundaries is not loving, she's sacrificing. And there's a difference. Love has limits. It knows when to give and when to pull back. A woman with boundaries doesn't let disrespect slide because of love. She walks away from confusion. She doesn't try to decode mixed signals. She listens to actions, not promises. She doesn't chase. She aligns herself with peace. And that kind of energy, it's addictive. It's unforgettable. It's what makes a man realize she's not like the rest. You know what really gets to a man? When you stop arguing and start detaching. When you stop explaining yourself and just fall back. That silence, that distance, that's what forces him to reflect. Because now he can't just smooth things over with charm. Now he has to face himself. And if he's a real man, he'll come back different. But if he's not, your absence will teach him more than your presence ever could. Some women keep trying to prove they're worth staying for. They overextend, overexplain, overgive, But the truth is, when a woman knows her worth, she doesn't have to prove a thing. Her energy speaks for itself. Her standards speak for themselves. A man knows when he's in the presence of a woman who's rare. She doesn't have to demand loyalty, he offers it. She doesn't have to beg for love, he gives it freely. Because deep down, every man wants to feel proud of the woman he chooses. He wants to feel like he's winning, not settling. When a woman operates from a place of self-respect, she becomes powerful in a man's life. Not because she controls him, but because she inspires him. She makes him want to step into his best self. Not out of fear of losing her, but out of the honor of having her. And that's the difference. Fear might make a man act right temporarily, but inspiration, that lasts forever. A woman who inspires a man to rise is the woman he wants to grow old with. But here's the mistake many women make. They confuse being needed with being loved. Just because a man needs you doesn't mean he values you. You might be filling a gap in his life, but that doesn't mean he sees you as his forever. The woman he wants forever is the one who doesn't make him feel dependent. She makes him feel empowered. She doesn't fix his brokenness. She respects herself enough to let him fix it on his own. That's how a man learns. That's how he matures. That's how he becomes the man worthy of her. You have to remember, a man will always test the limits. That's just human nature. He wants to see how far he can go, how much he can get away with, not because he's evil, but because he's trying to understand your boundaries. And when you draw the line, not with anger, but with quiet strength, he either levels up or he fades out. And either outcome is a win for you. Because if he rises, you get a real man. And if he walks, you avoid wasting your time with someone who was never going to give you forever. A man falls hardest for the woman who didn't need him to complete her, but still chose to walk beside him. She didn't give ultimatums, she gave clarity. She didn't compete with other women. She knew she had no competition because what she brings to the table isn't just rare, it's real. And real doesn't chase. Real doesn't cry over potential. Real doesn't stay where it's tolerated. Real love flows where it's valued. You want him to want you forever? Then live your life with purpose. Take care of your body, your mind, your spirit. Build your goals, nurture your passions. Let your joy come from within, not from his attention. When a man sees a woman fully invested in her own life, he knows she's not afraid to lose him. And that right there, that's what makes him afraid to lose you. You don't have to convince a man who truly wants you. You don't have to chase him, remind him, fix him, or change him. All you have to do is be you fully, unapologetically, boldly, and the right man, he won't just stay. He'll commit, he'll protect, he'll cherish. Because a woman like you doesn't come around twice. And once he knows that, he'll make sure he never has to live without you again. There's something about a woman who knows her worth that just hits a man differently. She doesn't have to say much. She doesn't have to prove anything. Her silence speaks volumes. Her standards are clear without her needing to constantly explain them. She walks into the room with confidence, not arrogance, and every man around her knows this one isn't like the rest. She's not here to play. She's not here to be saved. She's already whole. And if you want a place in her life, you better come correct. Man might be attracted to beauty, to charm, to surface level things, but what makes him stay, what makes him want you forever is how your energy makes him feel about himself and his life. A real man doesn't want a woman who fits in. He wants a woman who stands out. Not by being loud, not by trying too hard, but by being centered, calm, grounded. She's not afraid to walk alone. And that confidence shakes a man up. Because deep down, every man knows the woman who can walk away is the one he should never play with. You want him to want you forever? Then stop giving everything up front. Let him earn your presence. Let him learn your mind, your spirit, your heart over time. Don't give him emotional access he hasn't worked for. When you give too much too soon, you rob him of the process that creates true appreciation. It's not about playing games, it's about understanding value. A man doesn't treasure what was handed to him, he treasures what he had to show up for again and again with consistency and respect. So many women settle for attention because they're scared of losing connection. But the truth is, attention is cheap. Anybody can give you that. A like, a comment, a text when he's bored. That's not love. What lasts is effort. Real effort. The kind of effort that makes you feel seen, not just noticed. A man who wants you forever won't leave you confused. He won't leave you waiting around wondering where you stand. He'll move with clarity. He'll act with purpose. He won't play with you because he knows he can't afford to lose a woman like you. There's power in restraint, in not reacting to every little thing and not responding just to prove your point. When a woman learns to protect her peace instead of defending her position, she rises. A woman like that knows when to speak and when to stay silent. She knows when to stay and when to leave. She doesn't use her emotions as a weapon. She uses her wisdom as a compass. And that kind of grace, that's rare. And what's rare is always remembered. You want to know what scares a man more than anything? A woman who is no longer emotionally dependent on him. When he realizes that your happiness doesn't live in his hands anymore, when he sees that you're still glowing, still rising, still smiling without his validation, that's when the fear kicks in. Because now he's not your source. Now he has to prove he deserves to be in your life, not just assume it. And that shift is when he wakes up. A man who wants you forever is a man who grows through your silence. He starts asking himself the hard questions. Why did she fall back? What did I do wrong? How do I fix it? But he only does that when your energy forces him to. When you stop reacting, stop chasing, stop explaining, and just be, that's when he starts doing the work. Not for you, but because he realizes he can't afford to lose you. That's the moment he changes from a boy who plays games into a man who protects what he values. The woman a man wants forever is the one who doesn't make excuses for his behavior. She doesn't let love blind her to red flags. She loves with her heart, but leads with her standards. She's soft, but not weak. She's understanding, but not naive. She knows what she brings and she knows what she expects. And if he can't meet that, she doesn't beg, she bows out. Not with hate, not with drama, but with dignity. And that exit, that leaves a mark on a man's soul that no other woman can erase. It's not about revenge. It's not about making him hurt. It's about reminding him what it felt like to be in the presence of a woman who knew how to love him, challenge him, uplift him, and still didn't need to tolerate anything less than what she deserved. That memory, that lives with him. That standard, that shapes how he sees every woman after you. You become the benchmark. And whether he changes for the next woman or tries to come back to you, one thing is clear. He knows he messed up when he lost you. So be that woman, the one who doesn't react emotionally to confusion, the one who doesn't chase love but attracts it through the way she carries herself, the one who knows her values so well that losing someone who didn't appreciate her feels more like freedom than failure. That woman doesn't have to try to be unforgettable. She just is. And when a man crosses her path and he's not ready, that's on him. But if he is, he'll move like a man who knows forever is a blessing he has to earn, not expect.